Hello student. Today we are going to start a new topic. In last lecture we have started with the factors. The factors which plays an important role in ecology. Biotic or abiotic factor we have seen. And today we are going to move further to discuss the soil type, soil erosion and soil conservation. So these topics are related to soil and these are most important topic related to our university examination. So concentrate on this particular soil type, soil erosion and soil conservation. These are the common topic and this topic plays an important role in the further study also. So as we know that the soil formation is the most complex process which starts with a weathering, and after weathering we can say the soil is produced, and that's why we can say there will be a different layer and different type of soil is observed in a different regions. So region wise, particularly when we talk about India, in India also when we move different places, we can see the different types of soil or different structure of soil is observed, and this soil will get eroded, and we need to that conservation of this particular soil erosion or erosion of soil is to be conserved by a particular type of method. So in today's lecture, soil type is the most important parameter we are going to discuss. Now what? Soil types. When we take a look towards the soil types, we can clearly know that there will be three types of soil. The first one is known as sandy soil, means sand particles are present in large quantity and that's why they are known as a sandy soil. Second is known as clay soil. This is the most important soil for the farming purpose we can say, and the next one is a loamy soil. These are the three most important types of soil: sandy, loamy and clay. These are the three types of soil. Now before going to take a look, we can say that the sandy soil, what sandy soil? Sandy soil is having the higher concentration of sand and other components are also there, particularly when we go for the desert region or the we can say desert type of region. You can see this soil, sandy soil is there. So sandy soil is required a high rainfall for the production of higher yield. Sandy soil cannot hold the water content for the longer duration, and along with that the mineral contents of the sandy soil is different than that of clay soil and loamy soil. The second type, that is clay soil, it is having the large or small amount of sand and higher amount of clay particles, and this clay soil is the most important type of soil for the farming purpose. The another type of soil is there, that is known as a loamy soil, which is again having the very less amount of sand structure, and that's why they looks like a loamy structure or loamy soil we can say, and it is also having the most or major region in our India. So sandy soil is also observed in India, clay soil is observed in India, and loamy soil is also observed in India. So these are nothing but the types of soil depending on the concentration of sand and other particles of the that particular soil. Now moving to the next, that is the soil erosion. Soil erosion is the washing or blowing away of the top layer of the soil. So in last few lectures we have concentrated on the types of soil. Today we are going to concentrate on this topic, that is soil erosion. So soil erosion is the washing or blowing away of the top layer of the soil. So the upper layer of the soil is washed out. Now there will be a different region to wash out that particular top layer. Say for example flooding or flood. Due to the flood, what happens, the upper layer of the soil will wash out or flush out. Along with that, the we can say the air which blow in higher concentration, that blowing air also erode that particular soil. So these are the two most important reasons for the soil erosion, that is the flood and the blowing air or movement of air. These are nothing but the two reasons for the soil erosion. Soil erosion involves three distinct actions. So there will be three actions. The first one, soil detachment, means when the upper layer will get detachment or the particles will starts to separate, and that is nothing but the soil detachment. So due to this detachment, what happens, the topmost layer or upper layer will become loose and they will separate from each other and particles will be separated from each other. Now the next one is soil movement. After the detachment or after the separation, the soil move from one place to another place very easily by the help of water, we can say, or we can say the air. It will move from one place to another place. And the another or third step is there, that is soil deposition. So the soil which separated, it will starts to move and again it will deposit at the another side. So from one side it will detached or separate, then it will blown away or it will washed away and it will deposited in the distinct place. So these are the three distinct actions by which the soil erosion takes place: detachment, movement and deposition. Now again here you can see the type of soil erosion is given. The first, geological erosion. Geological erosion means what? The factors like rainfall, runoff, wind, topography. So these are the natural, we can say, natural factors or natural parameters. Like rainfall is natural, then due to rainfall or due to air it will run off, due to wind it will run off, and it will change the topography of that particular soil. So it is the geological erosion. On the other hand, you can see the accelerated erosion is there. That accelerated erosion includes man-made activities. Say for example, the we can say the hill station, when we visit, the hill station will change the structure by the activity of human, by the activity of man. Suppose a few years ago there will be a large hill stations will observe. Now due to the activity of human, this hill station or hilly area will be, it will cut, and due to utilization of that area, the erosion will take place, and due to that erosion the region will change, and that is known as accelerated erosion. So geological erosion, this is the completely natural process. It will take time to change that particular topology of that particular region. But when we talk about the accelerated erosion, you can see due to the intervention of man's or human, the erosion will take very fast, or the structure of that particular region will change, and due to that it is known as accelerated erosion. So these are the types of erosion depending on the factor. We can say geological erosion, that is natural, and another we can say the man-made or man-made activities, accelerated erosion. Now the part of the erosion is known as wind erosion. During the summer region, you can see this type of activities will takes place. That is the natural activity. It is naturally it will done. So you can see here the large amount of soil, that is topmost layer of the soil, get erode and it will move from one place to another place. So the first part in this, that is detachment. So the topmost layer will get detached. After detachment, it will blown away with the help of air, and it will again deposited at somewhere else. So this is nothing but the wind erosion, in which the most important part will take place by the wind. So this wind erosion is accelerated by again the human and animal activities. Say for example, if human being is working in this particular area, it will helps to the wind erosion or soil wind erosion. So the topmost layer will blown away. So this is nothing but the wind erosion, particularly observed during the समर रिजन. म्हणजे उन्हाळ्याच्या दिवसांमध्ये जर आपण बघितलं तर आपल्याला असं लक्षात येईल की हवेमुळे होणारं इरोजन जे आहे, सॉइल इरोजन, हे खूप जास्त प्रमाणात असतं. पावसाळ्यात सो विंड इरोजन विल हॅव्हिंग द लो intensity than that of summer days. So this is nothing but the wind erosion. Now erosion due to surface runoff. Obviously it is due to the water and floods. So here in this particular picture you can see that the water will occupy the majority of places and it will run off that particular surface of the soil, and the topmost layer of the soil get erode or get run off, or it will cause the erosion of that particular area. So this is known as erosion due to surface runoff, means the topmost layer will get eroded or it will taken off, and that is known as the surface runoff erosion. The next one again you can see this is nothing but a slope, and on the slope again you can see the topmost layer will get eroded and the region will get affected. So erosion will take place from this portion and it will deposited in this particular area. So again here you can see the three parts. You can see the detachment of the soil, then movement of the soil, and deposition of the soil. So three part of the erosion, or we can say steps of the erosion, is observed clearly in this particular region. Now again bank erosion. So here you can see due to the bank of suppose the river, large amount of erosion will occur, and due to change in the bank of that particular river, the large amount of area get eroded, and it will again the bank erosion. It is caused due to the natural movement of the rivers and other water sources. So large amount of erosion will occur in this particular region. So you can see here the large amount of erosion will occur, and it is due to the runoff of water in the river and other sources. Now sheet erosion. Here you can see due to the movement of water from slopy region or in a slope region, the sheets of that particular soil will erode, and it is known as the sheet erosion. Again obviously it is also occurred due to the runoff of water. So majority of the erosion of soil will takes place due to the water than that of air. But in deserts you can see large amount of erosion will occur due to the air than that of water. But in this region you can see the grassy area is observed, and in this the sheet of that particular region will erode, or erosion of sheet will takes place. Now here real erosion. So again you can see due to the slopy region you can observe the small parts of that particular soil surface or top soil is eroded, and that is known as the real erosion due to the small movement of water. So this type of structure is also observed in the soil. Now gully erosion, again it will occur due to the water, heavy rainfall occurs in a particular area, and due to that heavy rainfall this type of erosion will occur, small gully will occur, and this is again the serious issue related to the erosion, and in this erosion the large amount of area will affected. So this is known as the gully erosion. Then tillage erosion. Now here you can see the large amount of activities will done by human being, and during these activities the erosion of the soil will occur. As we discussed earlier that human activities is the most important part of the erosion. So here you can see the activity of human in tillage will change the structure of that particular soil, and it is also known as the tillage erosion. तर आपण असं म्हणू की आपल्या भागामध्ये किंवा काही भागांमध्ये शेतीचं काम करत असताना, शेतकरी काम करत असताना शेतीमध्ये जो काही चेंजेस तो करत असतो, स्लोप असेल, स्लोपला पोज करणारा, स्लोपसाठी मेंटेन करणारा काही भाग तो करत असेल तर त्याला आपण टिलेज इरोजन असं म्हणतो. ड्युरिंग द वर्क ऑफ दॅट पर्टिक्युलर फार्मर दिस टाइप ऑफ इरोजन विल ऑकर, दॅट इज नोन एज टिलेज इरोजन. नाउ लँडस्लाइड यू नो very common in north, you can see North India this landslide will occur, or during the rainy season you can see this type of erosion will occur, and due to that what happens, the large amount of soil get transferred from one place to another place, and that is nothing but a landslide erosion. Generally hilly region or the region where you can see the large amount of hills are present, at that particular portion, at that particular site, you can see the landslide erosion will occur. During this, what happens, the large amount of slide or large amount of that particular region will get slide, and it will act as a soil erosion. Now moving to the next, that is problem of soil erosion. What are the problems which occurs due to the soil erosion? The most important, that the loss of agriculture production. So the production of agriculture will reduce due to the erosion. Suppose in one area the large amount of crop is adopted, what happens, due to that erosion, that agriculture production will affected. Loss of nutrients, as the soil will transfer from one place to another place, the nutritions will change from one place to another place, and it will move, and it will cause the loss of nutrients. Reduction in infiltration rate of that particular region, means due to that movement of water, the transfer of water from one place to another place, or we can say the ground level water will reduce that rate of that particular infiltration rate, or increase cost in tillage operation. As we have seen that the gully type of erosion occurs, and due to that gully erosion, the large amount is required for the reconstruction of that particular site. So increase of cost in tillage operation. River get flooded, as the water will move from the different parts. Along with that, the soil will added to the river, and due to that soil, the river will get closed, and it will cause the flooding of that particular river. And along with that, the land degradation and desertification will takes place. These are nothing but the different problems which is occurred due to the soil erosion. Most important, these are the 2-3 most important things which occur seriously due to the soil erosion. Now these are nothing but the problems. Now how we can stop, how we can do the conservation of that particular इरोजन. म्हणजे आपल्याला हे जे होणारे इरोजन आहे सॉइलचं, त्याच्यामुळे आपण बघितलं की खूप काही लॉस आपल्याला होत असतो. शेतकरी मेजॉरिटी आपल्याला माहिती आहे की सॉइल इरोजनमुळे त्रास होत असतो. Not even only farmer, but also we can say due to the landslide, we can see the human interference. That particular area will get affected, and due to that it will cause a large amount of destruction in the area of that particular region. So for this reason, we can say the soil conservation or the erosion we need to stop, and that for this we have to do the conservation. Now how we can do the conservation? Two methods we can use, one biological method and mechanical method. Again, suppose biological method, we can say the natural methods we can use, and another we can use the machines and different parameters to stop the erosion, that we call it as a mechanical method. Now what is the biological method? The agronomic practices, means in agriculture we can do such a practice that stop the erosion of that particular region. Say for example, preparation of boons. Preparation of the boons is the simplest practice we can do in agronomy. For example, बांध तयार करणे, ज्या साईडला स्लोप आहे त्या स्लोपवर बांध तयार करायचे, जेणेकरून जे पाणी वाहून जाणार आहे आणि पाण्यासोबत जी माती वाहून जाणार आहे ती काय केल्या जाईल, स्टॉप केल्या जाईल, त्याला अडथळा निर्माण केला जाईल. सो दॅट टाइप ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर वी कॅन डू इन ॲग्रोनॉमिक प्रॅक्टिसेस. देन ड्राय फार्मिंग, म्हणजे जिथे पाण्याचा वापर कमी केला जाईल अशा प्रकारचं फार्मिंग सुद्धा आपण करू शकतो. ड्यू टू ड्राय फार्मिंग और less utilization of water, the soil will get conserved and it will known as a dry farming. So dry farming we can do. Along with that, the agroastrological methods. So again, these are the similarities having the method and practices. So we can use that particular agroastrological method. In this method we can stop the erosion of that particular region. So these are nothing but the biological methods. Now the first, we can take an example of agronomic practices. What we can do? Counter farming. This is the most important type of farming. Terrace cropping Then mulching means to cover that particular region. Crop rotation we can do, and strip cropping means in a strip we can do the cropping, and this will reduce the soil erosion, and it will help in a biological method in a conservation of soil. Dry farming. In a dry farming, as we discussed earlier, we can use a less amount of water, so that what happens, it will cannot flush out the soil, and it will protect or it will conserve the soil. Now mechanical method includes basin listening, counter planning. So these are the two methods we can say used in a mechanical method: basin listening and the counter planning. Along with that, we can say the biological method includes conservation is achieved by the use of plant vegetation cover. So you can do the vegetation to cover that particular region, and agronomic practices is like natural protection is provided to the soil by growing vegetation in a manner that reduces soil loss. These are as following. So here some example is there, that is counter farming. This is the oldest method, is found useful in those areas where the rainfall is low. Okay, it involves preparation of field with alternate furrows and ridges. So you can see the ridges and furrow is included. That helps in the stop the erosion of that particular region by the large amount of water also. So terrace cropping we can do on hilly regions or hilly regions where there is some good soil profile. Terrace cropping is a practice to reduce soil erosion and obtain a reasonable productivity. In preparing terrace, one block of flat land abruptly ends and a new terrace begins at the lower level. The soil is cut and laid to make the steps. So simply we can say in this terrace cropping, what happens? The slopy region of that particular area will cut off, and it will given the less slope, means terrace slope, terrace slopes. Likewise you can see the steps will prepared or produced. Due to these steps what happens, the soil erosion rate will reduce. म्हणजे सपोज असा उतार आहे आणि उतारावरून जर पाणी आलं, पाऊस आला, तर जास्त प्रमाणात इरोजन होईल सॉइलचं. पण या मेथडने काय होईल, पाणी थोड्या वेळ थांबेल, मग थोडंसं पाणी रन होईल, परत थोड्या वेळ थांबेल, परत रन होईल. So likewise what happens, due to this particular technique, stepwise movement of water will takes place, and due to these steps the erosion rate of that particular region will reduce. So that is known as terrace cropping. So slope will cut off and it will given the terrace. So this is known as terrace cropping. Mulching, as we have discussed earlier, mulching is the method to cover that particular region. So for example here plants such as maize stalk, cotton stalk, potato tops, etc. are used to mulch or to cover that particular region, and due to this covering what happens, the soil erosion will stop, or it will retain the moisture of that particular region. So that is known as the mulching, or in a simple way we can say the covering of that particular region. Then the crop rotation, so it will decrease the loss of and preserve the productivity of the land. Along with that, then another most important thing, that is the strip cropping. Strip cropping, what is strip cropping? It involves planting the crop in rows or in a strip to check the flow of water. साध्या भाषेत सांगायचं तर पाणी जे स्लोप वरून वाहून जाणार आहे त्या पाण्याला थांबवण्यासाठी स्ट्रिप्स तयार केले जातील, छोटे छोटे खड्डे तयार केले जातील, आणि त्या खड्ड्यांमुळे किंवा त्या स्ट्रिप्समुळे जे वाहून जाणारं पाणी आहे जोराने ते त्या खड्ड्यांमध्ये थांबेल आणि सॉइल इरोजनचा जो रेट आहे तो इरोजनचा रेट कमी केला जाईल. तर अशा प्रकारे आपण बऱ्याच ठिकाणी अशा स्ट्रिप्स केलेल्या तुम्हाला दिसतील पहाडांवर, टेकड्यांवर. त्या स्ट्रिप्समुळे काय होईल, जे जोराने वाहून जाणारं पाणी आहे आणि पाण्यासोबत वाहून जाणारी जी माती आहे, इरोजन होणारं जे मातीचं होतं, it will reduce the rate of that particular erosion. That is known as strip cropping. Now what is dry farming? In this method, or this method is useful for the croplands existing areas of low or moderate rainfall. In this area ordinary farming is at risk. Anyway, but this is the most important thing. Where the dry area is there, there will be a rainfall is very lost, and in that particular region we can do this particular dry farming. Now the agrostological methods. In this method, grasses such as cynodon, dactyon are used as erosion resisting plants. They are grown in strips between the crop. They act as a stabilizer when grown in gully and sodding, that is covered with sod. This method involves lay farming, retiring lands to grass, etc. So this is the very simple method, but it is generally used in the slopy region where the slope is more. In this region, what happens? The crop is planted, and in between the two lines of crop, there will be a addition of this particular type of grass. This grass will help to reduce the movement of water, and erosion will check or erosion will stop. Now mechanical method, we have seen basin and counter planning is there. So basin, it involves the construction of small basins along the continuous retained water, which also reduce its velocity. So as we gone through the strips farming, just like that basin listing is there. In this again, the water which is running very fast, it will check and it is stopped. The movement of water will reduced. The rate of movement is reduced in this basic listening. And the another one is terracing. As we have done terrace plant farming, just like that, this involves digging and channel along the slopes to intercept and divert the runoff water. Again, in a hilly region or in a highly slope having region, there will be a channel is produced, and this channel will stop the running water, and it will reduce the process of that particular erosion. Gully control method is there, stream bank protection method is there. Then afforestation means the cutting of that particular plant is also done. And the increase in number of tree also done, and this due to this what happens, the movement of air will stop, and due to the movement of air or less amount of movement of air, the wind erosion will stop. Particularly this particular practice will done in the desert region where the soil erosion is more due to the wind erosion. So this is nothing but the detail about the erosion. In last lecture we have gone through the types of soil. In this lecture we have discussed about the erosion types, what are the measures to control that particular erosion. All these things we discussed in today's lecture. So we stop with this today. Thank you.